So good evening and welcome. Well, before we get into the regular meeting, we have just come out of closed session. We have nothing to report. We did provide direction to staff. Before I get into the agenda, obviously we're all dealing with some extraordinary times right now, so please bear with us as we conduct this meeting. It will be online, and I will, in a minute here, turn it over to the city clerk to explain the different venues that you can view and listen to the council meeting on. So at this time, I will like to call to order the regular city council meeting for Monday, March 23rd. Notice this meeting will be held in accordance with Executive Order N-29-20 issued by the California Governor Gavin Newsom on March 17th, 2020. The Ralph M. Brown Act, California Government Code Section 54950, and the Federal Americans with Disability Act. This meeting will not be physically open to the public. All members of the public may participate and comment by viewing the city's live stream of the meeting on the city's YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/user/City of Ceres. And by the way, I think if you go to our website, you can find those. I don't expect everybody to jot all that down at this time, but if you go to our website, that information is there, is directly there, where you can link up. For more information regarding the real-time public comments, please visit our live commenting pilot page, and again, the link is on our website. Remote public comment is also available during the meeting by emailing the city clerk or commenting on the city's YouTube channel or calling 209-252-2862. I will announce the public comment period during the meeting. And I know that there might be a little bit of a delay, so as we go through this, and this is probably going to take place for a number of our upcoming meetings, so please bear with us. We'll get better at this as we go along. But one of the things that I will do is I will ask for public comment. That will give you the time to either call or email in your questions. I will move on in the agenda and then come back to the public comment period while the city clerk is able to compile all those questions and different things. And we ultimately will get to them, but I don't want to hold up the meeting and wait because there is some delay in everything, and by the time we're able to disseminate all that information, I would like to have at least had some discussion on the other items, and then we can come back to your public comments. But obviously when we get to a specific item, I would encourage you, if you have read the agenda and you want to comment on it, please let the city clerk know as soon as possible, even in advance of that item, so that we can make sure that we don't miss your comments. So at this time, can we have the roll call, please?
Councilmember Condit.
Here.
Councilmember DeRosset.
Here.
Vice Mayor Rhino.
Here.
Councilmember Klein.
Here.
And Mayor Vieira.
Here. Next, we will have the invocation by Mr. Wells.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we are in unprecedented times, and we just pray, Lord, that you would give us strength, guidance, peace, and we just pray for our leaders and all of our citizens, Lord, that they would seek you, and we look for your guidance. And Father, we just pray you'd watch over these proceedings this evening. In your precious name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United
States of America,
and to the republic
for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have no presentations this evening, so I will move to citizens' communications to the council on matters not included on the agenda. While the City Council welcomes and encourages participation in City Council meetings, adopted rules allow no more than 5 minutes for expression of non-agenda items. Matters under the jurisdiction of the City Council and not on the posted agenda may be addressed by the general public. However, California law prohibits the city council from taking action on any matter which is not on the posted agenda unless it is determined to be an emergency by the city council. Citizens are entitled to address the city council on any agenda item subject to the 5-minute provision. At this time, I will ask anyone that might be watching or listening to the council meeting, if you would like to speak during the citizens' communication portion of this meeting, please go to our website, make contact with us. And as I said, I'll come back to this item in a few minutes, but I want to give you time to at least let us know if there's something you'd like to comment on that's not on the agenda. With that, we will move to appointments to boards and commissions. We have none. Conflict of interest declaration. Is there anyone on the council that would like to declare a conflict of interest on any of the 14 consent calendar items? Okay, is there anyone in the audience that would like to comment on any of the consent calendar items or have an item pulled for further discussion? I'll give a couple of minutes to see if there is someone.
Councilman Rhino, go ahead.
I would like to have items 6 and 7 pulled.
And I would like to have item number 11.
Okay. Is there anyone in the public that would like an item pulled other than 6, 7, or 11?
So far, no comments have been submitted.
No comment. Okay, we'll address the 6, 7, and 11, and then if something comes in on, I guess we can readdress those. We'll have to see. All matters listed on the consent calendar are considered routine in nature and will be enacted by a single motion unless otherwise requested by an individual council member of the public for special consideration. Otherwise, the recommendation of staff will be accepted and acted upon by roll call vote. This time, item number 6, resolution number 2020-19, ratifying the appointment of Leticia Diaz to the position of Finance Director. Vice Mayor Rhino?
Well, I would like to say that I believe Ms. Diaz is doing a really good job as the Deputy Finance Director, but as I've stated before, that since I've been on the council, I've seen how important it is to have a knowledgeable, experienced finance director. And although when I worked for the city, I believed, as most people, that the second highest paid employee was the police chief because of what his or her responsibilities were. But since I've been on the council, to me, I think our finance director is probably one of the top employees because they're managing our money. And if it weren't for them, no one would be getting paid in the city. And for that reason, I still would like to see us go out and recruit a finance director that has experience. And I understand that Ms. Diaz worked for the city for many years. She was an accountant. And I know based on who the department heads were, she wasn't given any responsibility greater than the accountant. And I know she went to Oakdale for a short time, but I still don't think she has the experience that we need for that position. That's my comment.
Okay. Are there any other comments? Council?
I think right now, I kind of disagree in regards to the fact is, I think from what my understanding is and having talked to some of the department heads that she's doing a good job. And I think even more so today with this terrible thing that's attacking the entire world, that we're gonna need this position now, not in a recruitment that's gonna last months and months and months, but just because of the situation, so.
Any other comments? Okay, is there anyone in the public that would like to comment on this item? I'll give a minute or so.
via the chat.
Okay. All right, I'll look to the council for direction or motion.
Move to approve resolution number 2020-19.
I will second. With that, can we have the roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Condit,
Aye.
Councilmember Durasett,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Rhino,
No.
Councilmember Klein,
Yes.
and Mayor Vieira.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-1.
Okay, item number 7, resolution number 2020-20, ratifying the appointment of Aaron Slater to the position of Director of Human Resources. Vice Mayor Rhino?
I just want to say that when the mayor first talks, I can hear everything he says, but it's really kind of like you're in a bubble. And then after I spoke on the last item, I could hear Councilmember Durasett say something. I assumed it was him, but then I didn't hear anything else until a motion was made. So whatever our audio issue is, I hope that we'll have time to have it straightened out before the next meeting when all of us will be doing Zoom, because I honestly don't even know what your discussion was. So to talk about item number 7, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. My concerns are, and I understand that individuals like to promote from within, but I looked at the job description for the Director of HR, and it says 5 years of increasingly responsible human resources experience. And based on the information I've received from Mr. Wells, I don't believe that that is the case. And I also don't know, I think in Mr. Wells' memo, it said Mr. Slater's degree was in, I think it was in accounting, but the job description that we have for Director of Finance says a bachelor's degree from an accredited college or university with major coursework in human resources, management, business administration, public administration, or related field.
Okay, is there anything else?
No, that's my comment, and I think I understand again that there has been comment that we should promote from within, but I also think if we're not meeting the job description that we have out there, that I don't think that's fair to all the other employees, that we have job descriptions, but we aren't necessarily going to follow them.
Okay. If at any time when we're speaking and you can't understand us, let us know and we'll try to get closer to the mic so that hopefully you can hear us.
I can hear you.
Okay. All right. Is there anyone on the council that has any other comments before I open up to the public? Okay, at this time, does anyone in the public want to comment on this item?
I have received no comments other than there was an issue with the sound.
Okay. We'll try to move closer to the mic and see if we still have some issues, let us know. Please, thank you. All right, well, if there are no comments from the council, I'll look for direction.
Move to approve resolution number 2020.
Okay, I will second that. Did you hear the motion, Vice Mayor Rhino?
I heard it.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Can we have the roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Condit,
Aye.
Councilmember Durasett,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Rhino,
No?
Councilmember Klein,
Yes.
and Mayor Vieira.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-1.
Okay, item number 11, set public hearing date of April 27th, 2020 for the City Council to consider a proposal for a rezoning of the property located at the northeast corner of East Hatch Road and Gulf Links Drive to modify the existing MX2 Mixed Use 2 zoning designation to CC Community Commercial zoning designation within the Mitchell Road Corridor Specific Plan, and to consider an appeal of the Planning Commission's decision of approving a vesting tentative parcel map and a specific plan, site plan entitlement involving the subdivision of a 2.2 acre commercial zoned site into 3 parcels with a new commercial building proposed for each parcel. Councilmember Condit?
Yes, my concerns and comments have nothing to do with the project specifically, but with allowing access and proper public comment for the general public. I just would like to ask the city manager if he has any plans to possibly push this back until we turn to normality, hopefully soon.
Yeah, thank you, Councilmember. Obviously, we're in very different times, but our municipal code still requires us to respond to the appeal, and it's set in specific timeframes. And so obviously, when we wrote this staff report, we were not under an order, and there was a lot of things that have changed in the last week. So I think council has 2 options here. You know, one, you can set it for the 27th and then move it, or move it, set a date further out. So from a staff perspective, we would recommend probably that second meeting in June would be probably the safest bet for today. Obviously, we need to talk to both the applicant and the folks who are appealing to make sure that works, but I think that's the safest bet, Tom, is just set that date further out there. It meets our statutory requirements unless you have some other direction. Seems like the easiest way is just put that out to June. I would recommend June 22nd as a date. Tom, unless you have any other thoughts.
So that meets our statutory requirement, and then we would talk to them in the meantime, and if it doesn't, we would
Come back and adjust it.
I agree with Councilmember Condit. I think that there are plenty of people that want to speak on this item, and I don't think that we could do it justice in the current configuration, the way we're doing meetings. So in anticipation that we're probably in this current situation for at least 2 months, I would suggest that I agree with your recommendation of the meeting in June, and we can adjust that accordingly if we have to even push that out further if this continues to go on longer. That would be my recommendation. I wanted to hear from the rest of the council, and then would we need to take a motion to do that, Tom?
yes, you would just revise the recommendation instead of April 27th, make it June 2nd.
Okay. Are there any comments of the council, or?
Yeah, I don't know if it's possible, but, I had an opportunity to meet with the people that, the River Oaks, which is closed now because it's a non-essential. And, I don't know if there's time, obviously we have a lot of time to a certain degree, that I encourage all council members to have an opportunity to talk with them in regards to what their issues are. And even on the flip side too, having worked with a little bit with Singh, the owner of the development, because this is a big deal, and I agree with Councilman Condit for pulling it and the mayor. But, with the golf course being closed right now and obviously the times that we're in, I'm definitely on board.
Well, and along those lines, when I indicate to adjust it, if we're in this for 2 months plus, then we obviously need ample time after that period of time to sit down and talk to both parties. I would not suggest we do that now while we're in the shelter-in-place situation, because that defeats the purpose of what we're trying to do. So hopefully, both parties on that item can understand us wanting to take the time to have a discussion about that and get it right when we ultimately do address it. And we want to make sure that we hear and get all citizens' input and comments on this item. And it's just very difficult to do it when we're all sitting remotely. I don't know if that's a motion that you wanted to make to continue it?
Yes, I would like to continue it till June 22nd, and then we can reevaluate.
Okay, so we have a motion
Second.
and a second. Can we have the roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Condit,
Aye.
Councilmember DeRosset,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Rhino,
Yes,
Councilmember Klein,
Yes.
and Mayor Vieira.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Okay, thank you. So we have no unfinished business at this time, no public hearing, no new business, and no discussion items. So council member referrals, is there anyone on the council that would like to have an item placed on a future agenda?
Mayor, if I may ask, are we waiting to make a motion on the other consent items, or are we ready to do that?
Oh, I'm sorry, did I gloss
received-
over that?
I thought you would go back to that. I
Okay,
have received
so-
no public comment.
Okay, so with that, we will go back and entertain the remaining consent calendar items.
So with that, I'll make a motion to adopt 1, 2, 3A, 4, 5A, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, and 14.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Can we have the roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Condit?
Aye.
Councilmember Durasett?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Rhino?
Yes.
Councilmember Klein?
Yes.
And Mayor Vieira?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Okay, thank you for that, Councilmember Klein. And again, moving forward, if people do have comments on public comment, I would suggest if you could let the city clerk know at the beginning of the meeting that you would like to comment on one of those items. We'll make sure that you definitely get in the line to be able to comment on that. So again, no public hearing, no new business. Are there any council member referrals? Okay, hearing none, we'll move to reports. The only thing that I have to report is obviously we are in unprecedented times right now, as we are all watching what's going on and transpiring in front of us. I can't stress enough the shelter in place and encouraging people to limit and stay indoors. We have a little ways to go, but the easiest way and the quickest way that we'll get through this is by limiting our exposure. And that's really all I have to say about that. If you don't need to be out, please don't do it. With that, Councilmember Klein?
I have nothing.
Vice Mayor Rhino?
I have nothing.
Councilmember Drossett?
Yeah, just to encourage everybody, obviously the businesses are getting hit hard. And, you know, one of the things back when I was a kid growing up in the 80s, along with the mayor, was shop Ceres first. I think your family had a lot to do with that in regards to the fact of, you know, there are takeout places that you can go and get your food and try to spend as much money as you can here, because we're losing a lot of money because of the situation, so.
Absolutely.
Okay, Councilmember Condit?
Yeah, for obvious reasons, I'll be suspending my office hours here at the community center. I will still be available, though, either through email or phone. So if you need anything, please feel free to contact me.
Okay. Tom, do you have anything? Mr. Wells?
Just to follow up on the COVID-19 challenges and just remind folks, the two best locations for information here locally, stanemergency.com. You can follow them on Facebook. They now have an Instagram and a Twitter as well, and that's the best information for local Stanislaus County information. At the state level, CDPH, so California Department of Public Health, is the best information for the state. And also the newest website for the state is covid19.ca.gov. That is the most recent information on the governor's order that was issued last Thursday night. So encourage folks that are concerned about what essential is to review that information on the state's website at covid19.ca.gov. And that gives the best information in terms of what's essential and non-essential. So direct folks there, and we put links on our website as well. People could go to our website and then link to those other places. So, and obviously this is unique and challenging times, and the next meeting would likely be a complete virtual meeting where everything would be likely on a hosted Zoom, and because Zoom would be handling, we shouldn't have the sound issues, because we're kind of mixing tonight kind of two technologies, which I think is leading to the issues. We expect to be, the next meeting to be a fully virtual meeting, and as was mentioned in the closed session, we'll likely be having more regular closed sessions with the council on COVID and how this is impacting all of us. So much more to come.
Okay, Tom? Mr. Crane? Mr. Collins? Daniel?
Yeah, I wanted to,
Thank you.
so I'm not sure if you, Toby, also, on our CIP projects, I know right now we have one project underway and two we're supposed to start pretty soon. So right now, it's pretty clear that they're considered critical infrastructure projects, but my hesitation to let the contractor start on the other ones are that this may change. So I don't know what the appropriate, maybe I can talk to Toby, or I'd like to get a little bit of the council's direction, because I don't want to have a contractor start our $2 million Whitmore project, they get underway, and then we have to stop them. And, you know, there could be financial impacts to the city if we do that. So I wanted to get direction from the council. And I don't know if we can, you know, bring that up at a later date, Toby, or...
So, as the order exists today, construction is an exempted criteria, and so it is able to move forward, but the risk associated with moving forward is really the supply chain, that the contractor may not be able to get all the supplies that they were looking for. But again, those activities are exempted as well. It's just that, you know, as I see it today, I would recommend us moving forward with that infrastructure, especially the Whitmore project, just because of its road impacts and the traffic impacts. What better time to do a large road project than when there's no traffic? So, I mean, obviously there's a little bit of risk there, but because of its infrastructure relationship, I have a hard time thinking the governor's going to tighten it down to take away that aspect of an essential service. I think there's a lot of other places that he would likely tighten down on before he got to construction of critical infrastructure. So I think from a council perspective, if you wanted to take action, we would need to agendize something, but if basically want us to continue moving forward as we see the world today, and just recognize there may be a little bit of risk, but I don't believe we need to take any additional action, Tom, unless you have some other thoughts.
I would agree with you. I think we should continue to move forward. It's considered a critical infrastructure, and I'm seeing a lot of citizens say, why not do roadways now, because there's minimal disruption.
Correct.
So,
in theory, they should be able to build the project a little faster, hopefully. You know, like I said, the only risk really is the supply chain, making sure that they have the equipment they need.
Tom?
Yeah, Mayor, if I could just hop back in, that did remind me that we are gonna be presenting some, workshop items to you in the future on things related to, you know, what's an essential business, what's not, various things like that. So,
Okay.
again, we do anticipate giving you some, guidance there, and also for the citizens,
Okay.
the resources that you can provide to them.
Okay. Were you able to hear him, Linda?
No,
Okay, maybe you could.
I can hear the mayor really good. I heard most of Toby, but then he went out, so I really think that by our next meeting, we need to have practice this, or maybe if we're all doing Zoom from home, we won't be dealing with the city's audio, so maybe it will come in clearer, because I did a Zoom yesterday with a whole group of people, and there were no audio issues. Everyone was in their own home, and I'm just thinking the problem tonight is the city's audio.
Yeah, it's the mixture. If you can hear me, Linda, the mixture of the two systems is what is the challenge, and with 100%, we should be able to correct that.
What the city attorney said is they will be giving some workshops upcoming on guidance for the essential or critical businesses. Is that a fair statement?
Yes, and then the implications to them.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, anything else?
No,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay. Mr. Slater, congratulations. Okay. Aaron? No.
That was, you had Aaron, Mr. Slater is
Sorry.
Aaron. You're the, Mr. Lohr is who you're looking for.
Oh, I'm sorry. Anything?
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. Just to let everyone know, all our programs and rentals are canceled through the end of April. If you have any questions, please give us a call between 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. At 209-538-5628, and our staff is there Monday through Friday to answer any questions. And any future rentals or programs, just give us a call if you have any questions. We've been reaching out to all participants, and we are preparing for summer and are optimistic for a fun summer ahead after we get through all this. Thank you.
Thank you. Jeremy? Nothing? All right, with that, we do not have a closed session after the meeting, so we will adjourn to our next regularly scheduled meeting, which will be held on April 13th, 2020 at 6 p.m. So thank you.